Well, as we join together today, we're at the beginning of a new year. You know, at the beginning of a new year, we often make resolutions and plans to change and improve ourselves, and that may be well and good. Sometimes we find that this is occasion to make fun of ourselves because we know most of those resolutions don't seem to last. Someone has described a New Year's resolution as something that goes in one year and out the other. Well, I want to take you back to the Bible to Exodus chapter 12, where we find God's New Year plan, if you will, for His people there in the Old Testament. At the beginning of Exodus chapter 12, as God is preparing to take His people out of Israel under the leadership of Moses, He declares that the month that they were in would be the beginning of months for them, would be the beginning of their calendar, the first month of their calendar. It doesn't sync up with our calendars today. It really would occur in the springtime, March, April time frame. But the first thing God said He would do, that 14 days after the beginning of that first month, they would be counting down to a sacred day, the day of Passover, that would commemorate God's delivering them. In fact, down in 14 of Exodus 12, verse 14, it says this, "So this day shall be to you a memorial, and you shall keep it as a feast to the Lord throughout your generations. You shall keep it as a feast by an everlasting ordinance." I find it interesting that in the new year that they were experiencing and would continue to experience, the first thing God programmed into their schedule was a meeting with Himself. It was a call to worship, a call to remember and commemorate His blessing and His provision for His people. I don't know if you're going to make any resolutions or not for the new year. If you do, I wish you well in them. But here's one thing that we need to make sure that we do. We resolve that we're going to meet with God. I enjoy meeting with you in these twice weekly videos, but you really need to get involved in a local fellowship of believers. Some of you watch this are part of the fellowship that I have the opportunity to teach God's Word to every week. Some of you are a long ways away. But wherever you are, find a group of people, find a church, find a community of believers, and in that place meet with God. It was first on God's agenda for the new year for the Old Testament believers. It should be first on our agenda in today's world. Thank you for joining me, and do have a great, great new year.